County MPO meeting to order. And we'll start with some comments from either Jessica or Paul about our process and roll call.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon. I have a few housekeeping items for this hybrid meeting. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast on the city's YouTube channel. Please remember to mute yourself during the meeting when you're not speaking. The chat function of today's meeting is disabled, and all chats will go directly to Paul and I as host and co-host. Unless you're participating during the meeting, please turn off your video. This allows the active meeting participants to be seen on screen. The city and MPO reserve the right to mute people or turn off individual videos to minimize distractions during the meeting. And now I'll turn the meeting back to Paul real quick for a roll call vote.
Okay, thank you, Craig. Cronin. Here. Angie. DeFreeze.
Here.
Dowling.
Here.
Gentry.
Here.
Rodden.
Here.
Sanford. Looks like she's not present. Boyd. Here. Weigel.
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum.
All right, next up is public comment. I don't see any public comment attached. Do we have anybody in the room or on Zoom to provide general public comment?
There's no one present online with their hand raised or anyone in person, no.
All right, move on to approval of the minutes. Looks like we have a couple of months of minutes here, November and January. Any questions or discussion about the minutes?
Adam, nothing related to the minutes. I just wanted to take this time to introduce our new MPO liaison for Lawrence District County MPO, Eleanor Mathis. She'll be the new voting member as of today. I think we'll do, if that's all right.
All right, welcome, Eleanor.
Yeah, I'm excited to be the new MPO liaison, and it's great to see some familiar faces.
All right. Paul, are we good with that? I know Eleanor wasn't in your roll call, but she's here, so good to adjust for votes.
We have that down. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, are we okay to accept one motion and vote for these two sets of minutes, or do we need to separate them? I see a thumbs up.
Together's fine.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from November and February.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Margreta, second from Michael. Paul, roll call.
Crick.
Aye.
Cronin.
Aye.
DeFreeze.
Aye.
Gentry.
Aye.
Mathis.
Abstain.
Rodden.
Aye.
Voigt. And Weigel.
Aye.
The motion passes.
All right, we'll move on to our regular agenda items. We have one regular agenda item for T2050. Jessica or Paul, will someone be giving any presentation of these materials?
I will be giving you a quick overview of the public comments we've received during the 30-day public comment period. I'll share my screen here.
After Paul, I'll let Paul do that, but after Paul has a chance to present, we have attached the fuller presentation, but since we gave that to you last month, we figured a more valuable use of our time would be showing you the 30-day public comment and the final comments and what has changed probably since you have seen that last in that regard, rather than going through all the details again, although we'd be happy to entertain any questions you may have about any part of the process or document before we are seeking your recommendation for approval to MPO Policy Board today.
All right, so we did receive around 25 comments from about 5 individuals, and I'm not going to go through every comment. They are included in on the agenda. I've just pulled up a few here to highlight just kind of the nature of some of the comments and how we respond to those and changes we may have made. So first comment here is just speaking to the importance of sidewalks and the need to fix brick sidewalks. So we did not take any change based on this comment. We did point out the plan recommends that the City of Lawrence should establish brick sidewalk standards. Next comment is talking about the need for kind of education between motorists and cyclists in terms of behavior and safety. Did not make any changes, just pointed out that the City of Lawrence Neighborhood Traffic Management Program does include an educational component and a link to that. Comment on needing to prioritize clean energy. Did not make changes, but again pointed out that there's a sustainability section in Chapter 6, includes recommendations on low carbon transportation options such as electric vehicle charging and fleets. And also this comment included the need to preserve wildlife, and we do map kind of sensitive lands, which includes wildlife. Next comment is there a comment or someone? Nope. The next comment on public transit was a concern that the buses are maybe larger than they need to be and are we should be using vans or smaller vehicles. So the response to that is we do not make any changes, but given that the bus sizes cannot change in the middle of routes, they need to be sized for the busiest part of the day or the busiest part of the route to make sure they adequately serve the needs of riders. Another comment on street trees, and this individual had tried to maybe plant a street tree in front of their house between the sidewalk and the street and ran into some issues. So that's kind of beyond the scope of this plan, but we do recommend speaking to the Lawrence Land Development Code Update Steering Committee on something like that, as that's more in their purview. Some areas where we did make changes, just language using the term bicycle instead of bike and motor vehicle instead of vehicle. So made some of those changes. Also a comment on the different types of bike facilities. We did have some kind of outdated information and we updated that to match our bike plans, Lawrence Bikes and the countywide bike plan. And also comments on bike parking. We do have in the plan in Chapter 6 a strategy on end of trip amenities and bike parking. And comment on transit on a specific route idea is really beyond the scope of this plan, and it's more suited towards the transit route redesign planning process that Lawrence Transit does. So that was just kind of an overview of some of the comments we get and how we potentially make changes based on those, or try and provide information on why things were done the way they were. So happy to answer any comments or any questions.
In lieu of that, I'd also like to point out that we included some staff advisor comments because we were running out of time near the end of the process, and we received some staff advisor comments from our staff advisor team and our federal partners during the public comment review period that yielded us resulting some changes since then. And that's also included at the end of the 30-day review period comments. And so we included those in the context of comments because it did result in some changes we made to the document. You can find those in relation to some just small edits we made. The biggest of those is some changes to the financial tables where we moved the year 2026 from the first outer year bands into the first 4-year bands because those needed to be separate from the outer year bands. And we had miscalculated that because we had started with 2022. So that will be something, if you look close in detail to some of those financial tables, that we did move those. It didn't change any of the numbers or the content. It just moved what band year they were in, but that impacted almost all of the financial or project listing tables. So we wanted to point that out also and be very transparent about other changes that were made since the public comment period.
All right, appreciate that. Any TAC members have other questions or comments?
And Jessica, do you want to mention the additional public comment received?
Yeah, thank you. We've also attached on the agenda additional phone call public comment we received. It's on the agenda. If you want Paul to share that, we can call that to your attention also.
That was going to be my comment. I did take a look at that, and there's a number of topics in there, but one that I just wanted to double check on that I think I know the answer to, but they had some concern about not enough pedestrian information within T2050. And I believe I understand that the pedestrian plan was recently updated, and that's incorporated by reference and referenced in many places. Is that
individually true? Dissatisfied with the implementation of that within the city of Lawrence and felt they still wanted to share that comment.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that I think there's, as I was flipping through some of the chapters, there were a lot of references, and just wanted to be clear, I guess, that there is an updated PED plan, and that's been folded into T2050. It's my understanding.
Yeah, and the Lawrence pedestrian plan that's been folded into T2050 is probably the most robust work around pedestrian planning that's happened in the region. And so we feel confident that those are intertwined and ingrained into T2050. So we don't have any recommended changes in response to this comment, but we're sharing it with you today as something we received since this item's on the agenda.
All right. Any other thoughts or questions from TAC members? All right. If not, I would be looking for a motion to recommend approval of Transportation 2050.
I'll motion to recommend the approval of Transportation 2050.
I'll second that. I beat you, Jeff.
Let it be known that Dave seconded that, and now I'll look towards Paul for a roll call vote.
Rick?
Aye.
Cronin?
Aye.
DeFries?
Aye.
Gentry?
Aye.
Mathis?
Aye.
Rodden?
Aye.
Voigt? Chad, I didn't
Did you
catch
get that? Did you get it?
I did not quite hear you.
Aye.
Gotcha. Thank you. Weigel?
Aye.
All right. The motion passes unanimously.
All right. Thank you very much. We are on to other business.
Yes, thank you. We just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that we are working on both a Unified Planning Work Program amendment and an upcoming Transportation Improvement Program amendment. And those we believe will be before you, at least one of them, if not both, in April. And so that would be our plan for a future meeting. And we'll hope to see you then, unless somebody has anything else they would like to talk about.
Anybody else have any last minute thoughts? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Move to adjourn. We'll see you on April 4th.
Thank you.